everyone, it's Derin here and welcome back to my channel, or if you're a new viewer then welcome to my channel. My name is Derin and I make beauty, fashion and study related content, so definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button down below so that you don't miss out on any of my uploads. But anyways, as you can see by the title, today's video is going to be advice that every sixth former needs to hear. Since back to school is fast approaching, I thought there was no better time to do this video, so I'm going to be talking about 10 different things in this video, and these are either things that I know worked really well for me throughout my time at sixth form or things that I really regretted and wish that I'd known before starting sixth form. So there is a bit of a balance and I really hope you guys will enjoy today's video. As always, if you do, then definitely make sure to hit the thumbs up button and let me know in the comments. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump straight into the video. So I planned this video ages ago and I've written down my top 10 things on my iPhone notes, and literally in capital letters it says folder, you will thank yourself. So I've decided to put keeping an organised folder as number 1 on my list, because this is something I did not do until like year 13, I want to say. And when you start sixth form, I think most sixth forms or colleges recommend this, but you're basically told to get a folder, and it's all well and good. You pick out your folder, you get excited about your folder, and then like 2 months into school, you just can't be bothered to bring it to school anymore. That is just the harsh truth, especially if you have like 3 different subjects in a day and you have 3 folders to bring. You just don't want to do that. And so what I found happened as a result of me leaving my folders at home was that I'd have so many loose sheets in my bag that I'd say when I get home I'm going to put it in my folder, but honestly never did, or if I did, in the end I'd end up losing sheets or they'd be crumpled up. So guys, as annoying as it may be bringing your folders to school every single day, you're gonna thank yourself so much. I feel like people that have organised folders tend to do so much better than people with like messy folders. So if you want to be on your A game for sixth form, definitely make sure you not only get a folder, but you bring it with you for every lesson. Tip number 2 is something that I actually did. I've actually mastered this, and that is making sure that you're friends with every single teacher. Now, call me a teacher's pet, call me a suck up, no. Being friends with your teachers is probably one of the most valuable things that you could do whilst you're at sixth form. And the reason I say this is because not only are you like getting to connect with people that are older than you and know a lot more than you, your teachers are going to be writing your references for UCAS. Your reference for UCAS is probably one of the most important things that go into your application. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, when you submit your application to university, you submit your grades, you submit your personal statement, but then you have a reference which your school actually writes about you. So a teacher in your school is nominated to write your reference about you. They talk about you, they basically sell you, like, so not sell you, that sounds bad. They like big up you to your university, if that makes sense. So if you have a teacher they're actually on good terms with and knows a lot about you, then they're gonna make your reference sick, and that's gonna make you stand out so much. Why did I use sick? Are we in 2007? But they're gonna make your application look amazing, and that is really important when it comes to applying to university, especially with all of the increased competition. So yeah, I think making sure you're friends with all of your teachers is so important. It's something that not a lot of people tell you, but honestly guys, it's a game changer. It makes your time at school so much more like easy and chill as well, but it also is going to help so much when it comes to recommendations and your university application. Tip number 3 is again something that not a lot of people tell you, and that is to always sit at the front of your class. Again, this is something that I've mastered. I think it's so important and so helpful to sit at the front of the class, and here are the reasons why. Firstly, you're literally right in front of your teacher, so there's going to be a very little chance that you're tempted to talk to your friends and stuff, because your teacher can see everything that you're doing. Leading on to this, I think it just helps you to be so much more concentrated and focused in your classes, because if you're at the front, you're literally just listening to what your teacher has to say. It kind of feels like you're having a one-to-one with your teacher, especially if there's not that many people in the front row, because I know a lot of people kind of shy away from sitting at the front, but honestly I've just found it so beneficial, and I definitely recommend it to all of you guys watching this video. Okay, so moving on to tip number 4. This is something that I think every single person falls into the trap of, and that is making too many notes, basically copying out your textbook into your notes. The reason I say this is because we're constantly told that the jump from GCSE to A-levels is massive, and that there's so much content to learn at A-level that everything is important and that we should write down everything. Wrong. Ow, I actually hurt my wrist doing that. But no guys, that is honestly so wrong. Whilst there is a lot of content in A-level compared to GCSE, writing out everything in your textbook is literally wasting your time. So what I recommend when it comes to note taking is getting in the habit of being as concise as possible starting now. The reason I say this is because I think everyone I know, all of my friends, people at sixth form, we all kind of realise like halfway through the year 12, the notes that we made at the start of the year were absolute rubbish, because it's literally got everything that our textbook says word for word. So in the end, we all had to make a completely different set of notes, which were a lot more concise and a lot more brief. So what I recommend doing is trying to get in the habit of making concise notes at the start, so that you basically don't have to spend a lot of time rewriting things. A lot of the times textbooks will just have a lot of like irrelevant stuff, so when you're making notes, I recommend having your specification out and seeing what's actually relevant and then making notes from it, so that your notes are a lot more concise, a lot more targeted to your actual revision and your course, and you're not just wasting your time writing out the textbook. Been there, done that, so annoying. Tip number 5 is free periods. Now, when we're in GCSE, I don't know about you guys, but when I did my GCSEs, my school gave us no free periods. Never heard of it, never been there, never experienced it. But then when I got into sixth form, I think I had 9 free periods a week. Now, this newfound freedom can really get to you, and honestly, I don't think I know anyone who really used their free periods wisely until it came to like mocks and actual exams. But using your free periods wisely is honestly the best thing, and probably the most important bit of advice I have to give to you guys. Till, like I said, December, I didn't use my free periods wisely, my friends didn't use their free periods wisely. We were just on our phones, like on Twitter, on Snapchat, or like we just would sign in and then we'd leave and like go around the school, because, you know, too much freedom, we kind of went a bit crazy. But eventually, once I started to get my head down and actually become more focused, using my free periods wisely to do my homework and to do any work or projects that I had to complete, meant that when I got home, I had so much free time. And I think if you want to have a part-time job or participate in extracurricular activities, which by the way are all really good for like your CV and your UCAS, so if you do want to do that, then I think you guys should pay massive attention to this tip, because if you do all of your homework, do all of your schoolwork in school during your free periods, when you're outside of school, that time is yours and you can do absolutely whatever you want with it. It's such an amazing feeling to know that you have nothing to do when you get outside of school. So I definitely recommend that you guys follow this bit of advice. I found it so helpful. So many of my friends found it helpful, especially if you want to manage a part-time job or like extracurricular activities. I think I'm on tip number 6, but tip number 6 is about UCAS. Now, I know that when I started sixth form, UCAS was a term that constantly got thrown around. I was constantly told to think about my personal statement and my application, my course, blah 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 blah. Honestly guys, I don't think I know like more than 5 people that are doing the same course they said that they were going to do at the start of year 12 like now. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I don't know more than 5 people that are doing the same course that they said they were going to do at the start of year 12. Now, this isn't because they didn't get the grades or because something really bad happened, but honestly, so much changes from when you first start sixth form to when you finish sixth form and you start getting ready to go to university. So a bit of advice that I really want to give to you guys is, don't be like 100% set on a specific course or degree or like subject area, because so much is going to change over the next 2 years, and I think it's always best to just be open-minded and see what you're actually doing really well in, see what new things kind of interest you, because if you kind of just have your mind set on something, then you might miss out on all of the amazing opportunities that may be coming your way. Right, tip number 7 is honestly something that if you do, again, it's just going to make your life so much easier, and that is to pre-read. If you guys don't know what pre-reading is, it's basically reading up on a topic that you're about to learn in class like the next day or in your next lesson before you actually get to the lesson. And it's so beneficial because you basically get an overview of what you're already about to be taught, and it allows your brain to kind of understand and go over things first before you actually get taught it in class. Now, I think this is a really good thing to do, especially when you're in sixth form, because not only will it impress your teacher when you get to class and the teacher's like, so does anyone know what this does? If you've pre-read it, then you'll be like, miss, I know what that is. But more importantly, for your actual own learning, it's so beneficial to pre-read because it's basically like another repetition of revision. When it comes to studying, the more times you've like read over your flashcard, for example, the more times your brain's going to remember it. So if you've already read the concept in your textbook, for example, like DNA, when you get to class and learn about DNA again, your brain's like, and it's like registering that in your brain, so you're more likely to remember it. And pre-reading can be so simple. You can literally just pick up your textbook, read a page for like 4 minutes, and you're done. Like, you don't have to do anything in depth because you're obviously going to be taught it the next day. Yeah, like I said, I think it's just so beneficial. Your teacher's going to love you for it, your brain's going to love you for it, and it's just going to make sixth form so much easier. Tip number 8 is to make sure you get the best resources for your A-levels. By this, I mean get your exam board endorsed textbooks. I can't stress this enough. Basically, if you guys didn't know, each exam board actually endorses like a specific textbook for your course. If you look on a textbook and it's endorsed by your exam board, it will have the exam board's logo on it, but a lot of people never actually realise that and end up buying like a general textbook that they find on Amazon or at WH Smith. So basically, I 100% recommend the only textbooks you buy are the ones endorsed by your exam board. If your textbook is endorsed by your exam board, it makes sure that it includes all of the right content specific for your course. It usually also has little notes in there or like examiners' comments and stuff like that, which I find really helpful when it comes to revision time. And finally, exam board endorsed textbooks usually have the specification inside of it. So in each chapter, what I've noticed from my ones anyways, is that they'd have like the specification point that it's looking at and then all of the notes relevant to it afterwards. So I think it just helps to really maximise your revision. They're a lifesaver and something that every student should definitely have. My next piece of advice is actually something to do if you're running late for school or if you don't have time. It's basically to watch YouTube videos of whatever topic you were supposed to read in a textbook, whatever topic that you're learning in school. I find that if you're literally like doing your makeup or you're in the shower and you have like speakers, then watching or listening to a YouTube video on whatever topic you're supposed to learn, whatever topic you're learning, is so beneficial because you're learning all of the information without you actually doing any notes. What's amazing is that a lot of videos on YouTube that are study related, I just said that in such like a long-winded way. A lot of like the study videos are usually quite short because the person's trying to make them concise. So you're literally getting like 3 pages in the textbook in 5 minutes. It's amazing. Obviously, if you're not that kind of learner, then this may not work for you, but I 100% recommend it, especially if you have a test as well. Oh my gosh, yeah. So if you have a test and you want to do some last-minute revision on the way to school or in the morning, then whip out your phone, whip out YouTube, type in the topic, and I can almost guarantee there'll be some sort of YouTube video on it. So yeah, that is a little hack. I've been doing this for years. So helpful, and it's such like little effort, but you're learning so much as well. So then finally on to tip number 10. This is literally to just make sure that you're having a good work-life balance. Now, sixth form can be intense, it can be draining, it can be long, but it's not the end of the world. Wait, no, I didn't mean to say that. It's not the only thing that matters in the world. There is so much more to life, and it's so important that you're getting a good work-life balance, you're having a good social life, you're doing your homework. It's really good to make sure that everything is in check, because if you're doing one more than the other one is inevitably going to fall. So if you're partying too much or keep going out, then your grades are likely to fall. But then if you're just like doing work all the time and revising, then you're likely to be isolating yourself from your friends and not going out and not having a good time, and that can just be really bad for you. Definitely don't want to do that, because you spending time with your friends and family or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your dog is so important, just as important as your academics. Whilst you should prioritise your academics, your social life should still be like fairly equal. You guys see what I'm doing there? If you feel that you're doing one way more than the other, then take a step back and do some of the others, and you're basically like, you're set. Amazing. So yeah, that is the end of my year 12 advice video. I had so much fun filming this, and I feel like I'm just talking to my friends right now, honestly. So if you guys enjoyed it, then please let me know and hit the thumbs up button. Let's try and get this video to 200 thumbs up. I said in my last video, let's get it to 150, and we got to like 600. You guys are literally amazing. If you are a new viewer and enjoyed today's video, then I'd love if you could hit the subscribe button down below. Join the family. Also, make sure to turn your post notifications on, because I have so many back to school, so many university videos lined up for you guys. So you definitely don't want to miss it. I have a back to school supplies haul coming out. I have so many exciting videos, especially like my university videos. I think they're going to be so amazing. So definitely make sure to turn on your post notifications and subscribe. But anyways, that is all for today's video. I love you all so much. If any of you guys have questions, then just comment them down below. I literally respond to every single comment. If you'd like to ask a more personal question question, then make sure to Snapchat me. My Snapchat username is HeyDerin, or if you're on a laptop right now, then you can just scan the code here and we can be friends on Snapchat. But yeah guys, that is the end of today's video. I love you all so much and I'll see you guys in my next one. But I don't know why I did that, am I the queen? Bye!